Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's a pleasure to be before you today. Truly is a pleasure to be before you. This is part 6 of my sequel of messages spinning off from the N word. And what I saw was a new version of the N word, which has such subtlety to it. You people, if you have not watched any of my sequels, I suggest you do. You'll be blessed from listening to the messages. On my YouTube channel, Hidden Tears, there are long form contents and some short videos, short similar to TikTok. I thought about the various topics that I have discussed. Sorry about my phone, I'm not near it. I apologize beforehand. Let me see what I was going to say. I'll get back to that. I apologize for the noise in the background. But I want to say that before I logged on to this message, I was thinking about dehumanization. And the thought came to me, we do it all the time, whether we are aware of it or not. Children do it among themselves, among their peers, from what they heard on social media or what they be watching at the present time. As I'm speaking right now, someone is being dehumanized or experiencing some form of humanization. Like a kid may say, I never amount to anything. My family, I see nothing in my family that I can value myself from their experience. So this type of behavior can be used by any race of people to dehumanize themselves or others. That's when I looked at the various topics. Yes, they're a spin-off. Everything has a foundational root. The foundational root is the N word, and another root is you people or those people in the various topics I discussed. So let me look at my notes. First, let me define self-humanization. People experience self-dehumanization not only when they perceive themselves as less human, but also believe that others attribute less human traits to them. Some individuals can feel that they are, I don't have to stop and get an answer that, but pardon me, keep going off. Uh, they look at themselves as a certain way and they perceive themselves in another mindset and they feel bad about themselves. If this go off again, if it's not being annoying, I apologize because the phone is not near me. I thought I turned it off. People experience self-dehumanization not only when they perceive themselves as less human, but also believe that others attributed less human traits to them. So an individual, black or white, whomever, can attribute to themselves that they don't amount to anything because they don't see anything in their family tree or life at the time. And then on top of that, they look at their friends or their family or other members or strangers may also pound or add more to how they feel about themselves. So they're getting a double whammy of dehumanization and they walk around feeling that they have no value to their life, no life purpose in their life. And maybe that's what suicidal people think of. They don't see any value of their life. They don't see any worth, any life of living anymore. And they just simply, kill themselves. And this would bring me to remember when I was back in Fort Lauderdale many years ago. I have an answer machine, and I used to put different messages on, encouraging messages on my channel. And one night I answered, and dialed my number and got a message. And this person saying, "Well, it's a male saying you do not know me, but somebody know of you gave me your number for me to call you because they felt that you will be able to encourage me, help me to understand, help me to feel certain things." And but after I listened, no, they told me that they went and saw, they discovered and found that their wife was in the midst of being involved, had a relationship with another man, and they want to kill themselves because of that problem that they were experiencing with within themselves. So they were dehumanizing themselves based on what they heard, and they felt that life did not value anything anymore. But the person said, after I heard your message, whatever it was on at that time, it encouraged them to not harm themselves. And that was the end of the conversation. They didn't give me no number. I was not able to return their call. And then I said, well, if the person had killed themselves, their friend or whoever gave them my number would probably have called me and said, did anyone call you about a problem? But that didn't happen. So I perceived today God willing that this person did not harm themselves. So there are a lot of people out there in the sound of my voice that may be in your life at this present or even around you. You may not look at it as a form of dehumanizing yourself like the slave experience or the white or any race will dehumanize one another, but yet it's it can probably be under the radar that we dehumanize ourselves based on how we feel and how others perceive us. So we need to keep in mind. So pride, fear, lack of knowledge, and trust go a long way when we do not have the information about how we dehumanize ourselves. Deception, seduction, threats, fear, loss of friendship, all those things can contribute to accepting being dehumanized by someone else or being dehumanized by other people. Example is of verbal abuse and physical abuse and emotional abuse. Verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and physical abuse are some form of self dehumanizing yourself or others dehumanizing you too. Feeling shame, guilt, sadness, anger, unethical behavior, viewing yourself as being incapable of doing anything with your life. Some people use text and images to dehumanize others. That's a given there, and themselves. Some people post text and images about other people. They may find some gossip about someone or something, assume something about someone. So they put out texts on the text and images on their phone from their phone on their social media site, and that will cause the person to commit suicide. It's a form of bullying the person by using words because that's what takes place. Dehumanizing self take place from words. When you look in the mirror, what do you say and what do you see? That's a given. When you look in the mirror, are you dehumanizing yourself by what you see? Oh, I'm really fat. Ooh, I'll never lose that weight. So and so in my family is just fat. They never lost the weight. So and so, and you start thinking about how people look at you and perceive you, their thoughts about you add on to what you think about yourself. So you're self humanizing yourself over and over and over by the thoughts you think about yourself and what other people think about you. And this is proven and shown in history. During the Holocaust, the Nazi refers to the Jews as rats. The Hutus in Rwanda genocide called the Tutsis cockroaches. Slave owners throughout history consider slave subhuman. Devalue women, allow any control, physical harm, violence, and justifying controlling them as part of men's property or sex object. Men and some women, men can devalue a woman who allow control, physical or with violence. Because I remember in my days as a law enforcement officer, I kept going to this particular house all the time on the weekend because the boyfriend would beat up the wife because he did not like her to get dressed up and go out and be with her girlfriends. And she could not, when I tried to explain to her that the relationship was not uh, good, she kept saying that he loves me, he loves me, he loves me, and justifying him beating on her, and she accepted it. So she was dehumanizing herself. They saw that she had no value in the boy who was beating her up, felt that she had no value. So therefore, he was dehumanizing her with emotional and physical harm. And it went on and on and on. And told her, said, if you don't leave this man, he's gonna eventually kill you. And that's what he did. He killed her because one particular night she went out without his permission. And the thing come to me, men can tell women who they're married to or dating that they are not allowed to go out with their girlfriends. And at the same breath, they get dressed and go out and hang out with the homeboys and get drunk and come back home or whatever they do in the late hours of the night. And the woman supposed to accept it, and then they want to try to force themselves on the woman to engage in sexual relationship, and then she don't want to engage in that type of sexual relationship, whether she married or not. Then he physically beat her, or threatened her, or verbally abused her in whatever form to get what he want, and she submit to that kind of pressure, and she felt there's no value. And I learned that a lot of women who's being battered and abused, they are dehumanizing themselves, self dehumanizing themselves, so they think that other women are experiencing the same thing and they are quiet. So they don't talk to each other. Some do and some don't. And they share mindset that they're being dehumanized also. And it's a kept secret that they keep among themselves. And that's wrong. So you have injustice, torture, property, sexual abuse, and sexual, any form illicit sex that men or even sometimes women use to dehumanize their partner to get what they want. They might use money, they may use their finances, they may use their property, their car, or their stocks, or whatever value that they have to get the other person to submit, whether the person's aware of it or not. I just tolerate it because he paid the bills. You know, where I'm gonna go. I just let him do what he wants to do. That is a form of dehumanizing yourself by simply admitting that you have no value. Uh, you may not have anywhere to go. But if you just keep accepting that behavior, begin to, until he or she begin to look for somewhere else to go, they will not see any place to go. First, the person must admit that they have a problem in their relationship. They have a problem by self dehumanizing themselves. Then, when they do that, then the journey begins toward the truth to be free from the self imposed bondage that you have put on yourself. Steps of dehumanization is threats of violence coming from he or she, the removal from a group, you know, hinting you're less intelligent, that you're not intelligent enough to use that to humanize you. The husband may say, well, the wife may say, well, I got a college degree and I got a bachelor degree, and you never finished college, you never went to school. She is dehumanizing that man. And the man can say the same thing about the wife, that you never finished school, you came from this type of background. And you see what I'm going at. And this message probably will remind you, yeah, I have been dehumanizing my wife or my girlfriend, and likewise, they have been dehumanizing me. Then you have self deception, seeing others as less. Are you being humanized, dehumanized? Are you dehumanizing self? We can agree, I can agree that I have dehumanized myself and others have human men and women have dehumanized me to make you feel that you're less, you never accomplished anything because you're black, you come from a poverty stricken family or different lifestyle in your family tree. So you never amount to anything. No one ever finished college. You drop out of school. You know what I mean. Whatever you want to apply as it pertains to your life. And that is a form of dehumanizing you to do nothing, to not even seek the truth. And some people are fearful, don't want to admit that they don't know anything. They pretend to know something to get along. And yet, when they're faced or confronted with doing something, actually, they brush it off and say, no, it'll be okay. And they have accept being dehumanized by whomever, stripping human of their human qualities. Always start with language. Dehumanizing yourself and others, always start with languages. And I also say, because text and images is a form of language. You don't have to say anything. You can just show the picture, show the image, text the text, and someone will read the text, look at the image, and their feelings can be hurt. And you don't know what that person may be going through in their life, and they meet you and you say something to them that make them go overboard, and they do something. It's like, that person had a nice life. What will cause that person to kill or to harm someone? Maybe if they investigated, they would see that that person was dehumanized up to a point. I just can't stand he bothers me. I just can't stand him keep arguing and arguing. Ooh, if you don't stop, I'm just gonna blow up my mind and just do something. So that person is experiencing dehumanizing words from whoever. And because of fear and don't want to go seek counseling, they take and then they snap. and end up harming the person and they go to jail or prison or even to kill themselves because they were afraid to go to counseling to admit that they have problems. Dehumanizing self or being dehumanized damage a person's emotional and self-perception of themselves. When we are dehumanizing ourselves and dehumanizing others, we damage their perception of themselves. Like I mentioned in my video, if someone is having an opinion of you and that opinion is not you, don't allow their opinion to control your behavior and what you say. If what they're saying is true and what you're doing is wrong, yes, I'm gonna accept what they say about me is true. This is what I need to do. Recognize I have a problem and then seek the solution to be rid of it. But don't deny that you don't have a problem if it's true. But don't let, if an opinion is not about you, then don't let that opinion that someone have about you become you. Because we can, oh man, they keep getting on my nerve over and over. Maybe I just let them, just accept it. Yeah, you may accept it one time. It may be hard, but then you get on it. When you accept something dehumanizing from your own mouth with words, I never amount to nothing. I never lose my weight. Look at myself. I never put on this. I never put. You compare yourself with other women or men, you are compounding daily, minutes and seconds, days and months and weeks, dehumanizing yourself that you nothing. So when you look in the mirror, you just be disgusted with yourself and you just pretend that you so and so, but deeply you're crying within. Dehumanizing yourself is very dangerous when you do not recognize that you are doing such thing. And like I say, most people of any race will not seek counseling. Both parties may go to a counseling, and one person may look look at the other person and say, "Oh, their fault. I'm just going because they want me to be supportive." But yes, two people who have an argument must look at it and say, "Okay, what did I do to contribute to this argument? What did I not do to contribute to this argument?" If both parties is doing that, then they will find the proper solution and freedom from dehumanizing themselves and being dehumanized, and then help other people. You cannot go to someone and say, quit smoking because this is the side effects, and yet you still smoking. The judgment gonna fall on you also. So we must rehumanize ourselves. Rehumanize ourselves. What is that? Restore our human qualities, reverse the damage done by you or someone else. It may take minutes, months, days, weeks. With a surgery, they come up diagnose, prescription, and whether you need surgery or not. So when we dehumanize ourselves and have been doing it for a long time, some of our dehumanization of self may go away like that. But the long-term effect of our humanization upon ourselves from our own mouth and from accepting from other people may take months, may take years. But as long as we hold fast to it, we can reverse the damage caused by ourselves. We must listen thoroughly to what others say about ourselves. We must listen what we're saying about ourselves when we look into the mirror, or even if we don't look in the mirror, or when we're having a conversation or texting someone. Don't dehumanize yourself in a form of conversation, because what are you doing? Thought just came to me. When we dehumanize ourselves, we want someone to feel pity for us. Oh, I know how you feel. He get better, she get better, the kids get this. So we use dehumanization words out of our mouths to seek people approval for us to remain in the humanizing state, and that's still wrong. We must guard our thoughts. The thoughts that we think about ourselves defines who we are that particular day. Avoid the media and other deception and other outside influence. We must avoid any social media site and avoid any social media program that when we recognize it's a form of dehumanizing that person on that character on that screen, those seeds are going to plant within us. It's, oh, that's a good show. That's a good movie. That's a good segment. But when we really focus on the context of the long-term context on any social media site, what are they doing? Are they saying you people? Are they saying the N-word? Are they speaking of themselves highly more intelligent than another race of people? We know, as I mentioned in my message, if you listen to it, if you have not, I recommend. So we can be influenced by outside influence, and we can be influenced by ourselves by saying the things that keep handcuff ourselves from our being free. To give back, we must get our qualities back. We must begin to think that we have a purpose in life. No one can define your purpose. You can look at social media and say, I want to be like that person, or I want to be like a sports person. But if that's not your calling, if that's not your gift, you're going to be dehumanize yourself over and over and over. So, well, I can't play basketball. What I need to play basketball? What I need to go on and on. It could be whatever, college, and you constantly talking yourself into the realm of deep dehumanizing yourself that you cannot amount to nothing because you cannot play a particular sport and you cannot finish college, you cannot graduate college. No one in your family never went to college. No one ever in your family owned a business. Who are you? You black, you white, you're Mexican, you Jew. So all those thoughts is a form of dehumanizing yourself that comes from your mouth and come from others. So we must pray and ask for ourselves, forgive ourselves and others who have dehumanized. Yes, forgive yourself for speaking dehumanizing words and statement among yourself and even from your mouth toward others, sending out text or images. And admit, this is the key, you must admit that you need help. If you don't admit that you need help, you're not going to seek help. You remain in the dehumanization boat, and only you must pull the plug, and then the boat will sink along with you. You must recognize you need help, and then someone will throw the life preserve of truth towards you to pull you out your swimming pool of dehumanizations of words from self and coming from self. So seek our help, come out from your own self and other dehumanization of self. It will take time to be healed from any form of self dehumanization. So it's my hope that what you heard will stir up within you, show you, reveal to you that, hey, I am dehumanizing myself. I'm allowing others to define who I am, and that's not me. I'm accepting dehumanization words coming from people's mouth. They're dehumanizing me, perceive that I'm less intelligent. I'm not smart. I cannot accomplish anything in my life. Don't allow those thoughts from your own mouth be spoken or receive them or accept them coming from other people. So it's my hope that this message will reveal to you in your life and even others around you that you can say, wow, I am dehumanizing myself. That is my problem. When you recognize that you have a problem, then you will seek out answers. If you have any questions, you can type uh, in the comment section when I'm off air. If you want me to elaborate on this more, or reveal more, or follow up on a thought that you're thinking, feel free to do so. I remember doing Facebook videos, and I did a message where I said, men do cry, men do get beat up by their wives or their girlfriend, men experience some form of verbal abuse in a relationship. I'm not the only one that experienced verbal abuse in a relationship. No woman ever beat me up, but men out there do get physically beaten up emotionally by a man. And I said, type in your comment. I did that many times, and no men mentioned or even comment or said anything about my call to action. And I said, wow, I know I'm not the only one that experienced verbal and physical abuse. Not that I did, but I know men, when I was in law enforcement and went to a domestic cause, men will get beat up by their girlfriend or their wife. So men are in the closet when it comes to being dehumanized by other women, other men, or even from their own mouth. So I'm tough, I'm a man kind of man, and I don't let nothing bother me. Men don't cry and all this kind of stuff. But yes, dehumanization coming from our mouths handicap our feet and our hands and our mind. Dehumanization coming from other people, friends. No one is exempt from dehumanizing one. All races, all sex, all gender. No one is exempt, excluded from dehumanizing one another or self. And it's my hope again that this message called you to see that wait, called you to look and say, wow, I never look at my conversation as dehumanizing towards myself, yourself, or toward others. Wow. That is the problem. That's what's causing the problem in my marital relationship. That is what's causing my problem on my job or my self worth about myself. And then the more you think of it, you just to give up. And then as the years pass, you regret that you didn't do something. And guess what you do? You dehumanize yourself and blame someone. So, well, if I didn't get pregnant by, I already did so and so. Yes, you got pregnant by so and so, and you had a child, and the child is older now and doing the course. What do you do to pursue, if you decide to pursue that dream? Or what are you doing, or what have you started to do? Or did you just sat around and did nothing and feel that it'll get better, he get better, she get better, the kids get better, your situation get better? Nothing get better in our lives until we admit that we have a problem and an issue. And what stops us from admitting that we have issues, pride, and problems is because how we look on outside, our money, our car, our houses, our materialistic thing, our gold, our jewelry, our stocks, our pension, whatever we consider value. We look at those things as a form of we are self-worth, that we have something that defines me. But when you lose all of that in an instant or months or years, then what is you? You begin to dehumanize yourself because you say, I don't have my money, I don't have my husband, my whatever, whatever, whatever. And then you dehumanize yourself. You go into a state of drinking alcohol, doing drugs, or whatever you decide to replace that lack of feeling that you have self worth. Yes, dehumanizing yourself boils down to this. Do you see yourself in the mirror that you have self worth within yourself? Make the correction and error that you see. And once you do that, you'll be in a position to help others, to go out there to help others, to show them. But remember, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. Only those who want help will come to you, will welcome your help. Share, like, and comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So when I do pop up randomly, if I do, you know that I just pop up out of the blue because I may have a message that's not part of this series. And then you say, wow, you didn't miss it. Or then you cause to miss it. Recommend that you check out my YouTube channel, Hidden Tears. I have another one called uh, The Hidden Tears. I'm sorry. He Still Speaks Now. Listen is another YouTube channel. Hidden Tears. Thoughts in the Aim is a YouTube channel. So you can also go to the YouTube channel, look at my channels, and you find the different channels that I have. Like, subscribe, and share, and hit the subscribe button bell so I can reach my magic number of 1,000 and 4,000 hours, so I can get paid putting out these good videos. And if I was doing it just to get paid or get the thousand, I would have stopped a long time ago when YouTube was just a dating channel, and it did monetize back then, but now they changed it to the structure they have now. So it's a pleasure to be before you. God willing, I'll be back Thursday with episode 8, and then Saturday, episode 9. And that will be it, unless I'm led to share something else, because one of you may want me to. You may have a topic that follow this sequel of messages. If you have a topic that's follow this sequel of messages that you want to hear my input on, feel free to put it in the comment section, and I'll look at it and I will give you credit. Hey, ABC person recommend me to expound on this, or what is my opinion about this, or how do I see this and how it may affect. Don't you know, be truthful with yourself. It's pertaining to you, just say it's pertaining to me. Because every message, this whole sequel of messages, I saw myself in various areas of what I've been doing. I saw myself in various areas of this particular message. So I have many more thought-provoking messages that you may think you know what I'm going to come from because of the title, but those who follow me know I flip the script, as the young people would say, and come in another direction, because I have the ability to look at things and bring forth a parable or metaphor that will get you to think. And every time you listen to this message or listen to any message that I have put out there, it will speak to you according to your growth. You may look at it from a first grade level, understand it, read it again, listen to it again, and graduate to the second, the third, and the fourth. That's how it works. All of my message is not about judging or condemning anyone. One person told me they look at my message as informational, informative, that point us back to self. That is my niche. Point us back to self, to look at self. I don't do drama. I don't do the things that I see. That's fine. That's their niche. But I have to do what fits me. So again, thank you for watching. Share, like, and subscribe, and let others hear what you have heard, and hit the notification bell. And I was thinking, I'll close with this. Out of everything that I said, maybe the last two, or maybe the final message, but this message, this particular segment, to me stand out with such a impact that I didn't look at it as I'm looking at it now. That any given day, try me, call to action. See if you see this in your life. Type it in the comment section. Let other people hear your thoughts. Someone told me that I'll listen to your videos, but I don't want to comment because I don't want my friends to think I agree with you. And why? Because they don't want to lose their friends, so they just look in the background. They don't sign on. They just look in the background. That's fine, but that's what this person told me. But allow someone else to hear what you heard, because you don't know what they're going through. They may say, thank you for this message. So I look at this particular message as up there in a 1 to 3 bracket, that we, the air that we breathe, that every time we blink our eye, every time our heart beats, any given moment, minutes, seconds, hours, days, and weeks, no matter what race and gender you are, if you now you know now, you may not know it back then, as kids will say back in the day. Now you know now that every time you speak about yourself, are you dehumanizing yourself based on what other people think of you and what opinion they have about you? Are you dehumanizing yourself about your own self thoughts that you're thinking about yourself? And then are you experiencing some form of being dehumanized by your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your extended family member, your in-laws? And if you ask yourself that question, you will see some form of dehumanization in your life. Thank you.